How do you recommend a client think about designing a tattoo idea? So there's a lot of different ways to go. I first recommend finding the right artist for you. So kind of figure out what style you want. From there, try to do as much research as you can on artists that do that specific style. From there, you can either look through Pinterest. I recommend Instagram, trying to find really good artists on Instagram and finding other tattoos that you really like or that you could see on yourself. From there, I've talked about it before, but you want to look for like the primary images, the primary concept, maybe some secondary. So an example would be like, okay, I want a Greek sleeve. There's a lot of different avenues you can go with that. So figure out, okay, what Greek character you would like. Maybe some other things you'd want in it. If it was like a, an olive branch, or say it was Poseidon, you're like, ooh, I would like a ship. So you want to think of those secondary images as well. The main thing that you want to basically comprise is these primary and secondary images. That way, from there, your artist has kind of like something to build off of and then go from there. Did I always want to be a tattoo artist? Danielle asked. I did not always want to be a tattoo artist. I always have been an artist since I was really, really young. I didn't know specifically that I would want to become a tattoo artist until probably my college days. Funny enough, I wanted to be a lawyer throughout high school and through college. That's what I went to Ohio State for. I studied pre-law. However, I just didn't see that being the avenue I wanted to pursue anymore. It was a long road ahead of me, and I kind of decided to fall back on my love for making art. There's a whole story behind that, but I did not always want to be a tattoo artist, but I'm glad that I made the right decision to be one. I'll wait on that one. Would I ever do a forehead tattoo? Michael asked. I would, but I don't like to do gimmicky tattoos. I would like to do a tattoo that is like creating art. So if it is some sort of like head tattoo that goes down to the forehead, or even like something that is an actual like form of art, yes, I would be down to do that. However, if it's just like something silly, I'll probably pass on that one. Respectfully, are you single? I'm not going to say the name, I'll just say G, I'll say the letter. The answer is yes, I am single. However, I am not in the point in my life where I would like to be focusing on any sort of relationship. Basically focusing on ethos, tattoos, all that kind of stuff. Someday, if something else were to come, then we'll figure that out then. What's the hardest style of tattoos for me? Michael asks. The hardest style would probably be color realism. I think. I haven't tried color realism enough to really know how difficult it would be for me. I kind of think of color realism in a way similar to painting, and I've never been a big painter. I haven't got into it too much, so it would definitely be a learning curve. I think that I could do it, but I think that would be the hardest learning curve for me to do that style. Good question. Tell us the moment everything changed for me during my career so far, Monica asks. That's a great question. I would say there's a couple turning points in my career so far. I think one of the first turning points was when Max, Armani, and I first joined Riot Inc. I think that gave me a lot of freedom to tattoo the things I wanted to tattoo. I was in a better shop. From there, I would say that my first tattoo convention at Chicago Villain Arts, that was a big turning point because it gave me a lot of confidence. I did a Marvel sleeve on my brother, and a lot of the artists there were like impressed by it. I was really nervous to go to that convention. I didn't know. I had a lot of imposter syndrome. I didn't know if I was good enough. That kind of solidified a lot of things and kind of gave me a lot of motivation to keep putting myself out there. From there, I'd probably say another good turning point would be when Max, Armani, and I opened up Ethos. I would say opening up Ethos created even more freedom for me to create designs and pieces that I wanted to create. Favorite memory so far, Monica asks. I'll say a top 3 favorite memories. I'd say number 1 would have to be my last, when I was just in LA, my trip to LA, meeting all kinds of artists at Golden State Tattoo Convention, tattooing at Ganga, meeting Shy and the rest of Peaks and Valleys. It was really cool for me because those are like goals that I had set out for myself. And from there, I would say some other big memories were when we had our 1-year party and I bought Max a Rolex that was really It meant a lot for me to do because Max basically helped me get into tattooing. So without him, I feel like I would never be here. So I wanted to go ahead and pay respect to him and show him some love by giving him a gift like that. What conventions will I be doing next year? Asked Mama Ironside. So I have some of the year planned out so far. In January, I'll be tattooing in Costa Rica for a convention. I'm super excited about that one. February, I believe I will be tattooing at the Cleveland Villanards Tattoo Convention. Hopefully be guest spotting at Peaks and Valleys. March, Mad Rabbit asked me to go ahead and tattoo at the Chicago Villanards. That was my first convention, so it's going to be really cool. Kind of like a full circle moment for me to tattoo for them 2 years later after I first did my first one. What do we got? April, I'm going to be guest spotting in Texas at Jeff Williams' studio. Super excited for that. That's in Dallas. May, I'm going to be tattooing at the Empire Tattoo Convention in New York. Hopefully. We got me and Esteban have to set that up. We might be doing a collab piece for that, but if I go ahead and do that one, that would be really sick. There's a bunch of different conventions that I want to do, but yeah, we'll figure it out from there, and I'll always keep you guys tuned in for that. Have I ever had someone pass out while tattooing them? Michael asks. Yes, I have. I've had, funny enough, 3 years of tattooing, I've had 3 people pass out, and the first one when I was still like in my house, I will say everyone that's passed out, it has been because they don't eat or they smoke too much weed. So learn from that mistake. Like, I don't know, you have to prepare yourself for a tattoo, okay? And I think that sometimes people like take it a little lightly. Make sure you eat before your appointment. Don't smoke a bunch of weed before your appointment. Don't drink the night before. I've actually had, I won't say names, but I've had 2 clients, 2 out of the 3 clients that passed out was they drank the night before, they smoked weed that morning, and they didn't eat. What do you think's gonna happen? The third guy was just stubborn and he just didn't eat. What would you want to do if you didn't tattoo? Asked Landon. At this point in my life, I think that I've committed to creating art, so I can't see myself not creating art. If I weren't tattooing, I would have to find some other form. I don't know exactly what that form would be. If it would be drawing, if it would be creating other types of content, but either way, I know I want to create something in some sort of way. I can't see myself doing any other job. Do I tip my artists, and how does that work? Asked John. It's a really good question. So the 2 big things when you need to think about if you should be tipping or not is, well, first of all, how is your experience? How is your experience with the artist? How do you feel about the tattoo you got? How do you feel about everything that led to the tattoo? How you feel walking away? So that obviously typical, that's what you should be thinking about. As well, for how much you should tip, I think that depends on your tattoo artist. Are they on a percentage or are they booth rent? That's something you can kind of ask them while you're getting tattooed. Reason why I say that is when you're on percentage as an artist, you have to give, sometimes it's 40%, 30%, even sometimes 50% of what you make on the tattoo to the shop. And if that's the case, if you tip them, that money, the tip money, goes directly to the artist. So that's a viable question that you should ask during your session, so you know kind of like how much you should be tipping and the amount of money that you need to be saving up for the tattoo. On the flip side, if your artist is on booth rent, that means that 100% of the money goes straight to the artist, which is awesome, which is great. That doesn't mean that you don't have to tip or that you shouldn't or whatever, but what it does mean is that, say, I'll give you an example. For me, I charge $1,500 for a day. 20% of that is $300, which would bring the tattoo to $1,800. I'm not expecting that at all. I'm not expecting a tip in general because $1,500, I put all the factors that lead up to how long it's going to take me to tattoo, how long the prep is, all that. I factor that all into the price. So if you feel really good about your experience and if you want to tip an extra 100 on there, I would love that, like that's greatly appreciated. But I don't want anyone to ever feel obligated that they need to. What's your daily morning routine? Asked Andrew. Another good question. So my daily morning routine typically is wake up around 7:30. I used to wake up earlier, but my travel has been messing up my whole rhythm. I try to wake up. I don't actually eat. I take my vitamins, get a water in me. I just brush my teeth, head out the door, head to the gym, Try to work out for an hour to 2 hours. It just depends if I'm working out with someone or if it's just me. From there, I head back home, take a shower, get dressed, grab everything I need to for the day, maybe see if there's anything I need to post, and then I head to the shop around 10 o'clock, a little bit before that, about like 9:45. From there, my client's supposed to get to the shop around 10. We sit down from 10 to 11 designing typically, and then from 11 to about 6 o'clock we tattoo. Take about like a 30-minute break in there. From there, I'll probably get done, try to make sure I'm posting on social media, head home, decompress. I hurt my ankle, so I haven't been able to run, but beforehand I would do another workout, do like 2-3 mile run, and then lay down, watch some YouTube, check my Instagram, respond to messages, and then do it all again the next day. And last question. Since producing more content, how have you seen your business grow? Asked Daniel. I would say I've always, since the beginning of tattooing, I was always posting content. However, the type of content that I've been posting more recently has changed, and I think that I've seen a lot of growth in putting myself in the videos, like showing my personality, the people getting to like know me and the whole experience that they're about to have. I think that's really important, because when people are tattoo shopping, to find an artist that they feel like they can connect with, or they can have a good experience with, or that they can trust with something that's on them forever, it's really important. And so I want to basically portray who I am and the experience as well as I can. So I've seen a lot of growth in that way, just putting myself out there more. And it's something I've always done, and I'm glad that it's something I can do now with my business. So yeah. All right, if y'all haven't subscribed, liked, commented already, what the fuck you doing? Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I shouldn't have to tell you this, but yeah, I really appreciate all of you, and hopefully we can do some more Q&A videos. I will be posting the way that you can ask questions is I will post stories on my Instagram. You can go ahead and ask questions on there, and when I do my next Q&A, I will answer those and give you a little bit of a shout out. So appreciate you guys for tuning in. See you next time.